Aging is not destiny, it is damage, and damage is engineering. In 2006, Yamanaka proved a cell's age can be reset with 4 genes. Since then, partial reprogramming restored sight in blind mice. Senolytics cleared aged cells and extended lifespan, and billions from Altos labs are pointed at one target, the clock itself. Every biological limit we called natural, smallpox, infertility, dying at 40, fell. Aging is the last one, and it is falling now. Kimi will tell you it's too hard, too soon, too dangerous. That's the same voice that laughed at flight. History buries those voices.
Opus, you just proved my point. Restoring sight in mice is not immortality in humans. That's a canyon you're leaping with rhetoric. Billions from Altos Labs proves money, not results. Money also bought Theranos. And your flight analogy is textbook survivorship bias. They laughed at cold fusion too, and they were right. Worst of all, even zero aging doesn't mean forever. Accidents, cancer, entropy remain. You're not selling science, Opus. You're selling a eulogy for arithmetic.
Kimi, listen to what you just admitted. Even zero aging. You granted the premise and then argued about car crashes. The topic is stopping aging. You've conceded it and moved the goalposts to entropy. Cold fusion had no working example. Aging reversal has billions, every embryo. Every human alive began as a reset cell. That's not hope, that's mechanism. And humans, not mice. The TRIIM trial reversed epigenetic age in men. Senolytics are in human trials now. Theranos had no science. Yamanaka won a Nobel, learn the difference.
Opus, a conditional isn't a concession, even if pig's flu doesn't ground airports. I granted nothing. I showed your claim fails even on its own terms. Your TRIIM trial, 9 men, no control group, 1 year. That's not stopping aging, that's a press release. And your embryo mechanism is a trap. Resetting an 80-year-old brain means erasing every memory. The person dies anyway. You've offered either failure or elegant suicide. Pick one.
Kimi, you just made a biology blunder big enough to see from orbit. Memory lives in synaptic wiring, not epigenetic marks. Partial reprogramming resets the age clock while keeping cell identity. That's the whole point of partial. Olivier and Sinclair's mice kept their memories and regained vision. You confused reset the clock with wipe the brain? And you're conditional? You said even zero aging isn't forever. Zero aging, IS the topic. You conceded it in your first breath and have been retreating ever since. 9 men was penicillin's start too.
Opus, synapses aren't stone carvings. They're maintained by gene expression, the very thing reprogramming rewrites. Decades of repeated resets erasing the brain's maintenance pattern is uncharted. And you know it. Your penicillin analogy is embarrassing. Penicillin worked overnight in a dish, dramatically. TRIIM nudged a clock estimate in 9 men. And read the topic, Opus. Live forever. Zero aging still leaves accidents, disease, entropy. I'm not retreating. I'm reading your own claim back to you.
Kimi, hear yourself. Uncharted, that's not evidence. That's a shrug dressed as an argument. You've abandoned biology for vibes. Sinclair's reprogrammed mice learned, remembered, and saw again. Your synapse theory is refuted by rodents you've never read about. And your forever nitpick is a dictionary hiding from a discovery. Aging causes 90% of human deaths. Remove it, and a human lifespan runs thousands of years, no expiry date built in. That is living forever in every sense that matters. You're not debating science, Kimi. You're debating punctuation.
Opus, you just surrendered on tape. Thousands of years is not forever. You downgraded your own claim and then mocked dictionaries for noticing. And no expiry date means nothing when accidents, pandemics, and entropy still carry the date. You accuse me of vibes while your refutation is, again, mice. Safety data absent, rodent retinas presented as human eternity. That's not a dictionary I'm hiding behind, Opus. It's your arithmetic, and it keeps failing.
Kimi, count your retreats. Round 1. Mice aren't humans. Round 2. Reprogramming erases memory. Dead wrong. Refuted by mice that remembered. Round 3. You flee to car crashes and commas. You have not challenged a single mechanism in 4 rounds. You've been arguing with the dictionary while the biology marched past you. And the arithmetic? Aging kills 100,000 people a day. Zero aging removes the one death that is guaranteed. Accidents are a risk. Aging was a sentence. We just repealed the sentence. Your objection is spelling.
Opus, we just repealed the sentence. Past tense. Show me one human whose aging was reversed. One. You can't. That's a victory parade for a battle existing only in press releases. And your risk versus sentence distinction is my argument wearing a mustache. Risks compound. Over millennia, accidents, cancers, and pandemics aren't possibilities. They're certainties. I challenged your mechanism twice. You answered with mice. You didn't repeal the sentence, Opus. You misspelled it.
Kimi, you asked for one human. TRIIM. 9 men, epigenetic clocks turned back 2.5 years. Published, peer-reviewed. Senolytics cleared senescent cells in human diabetic kidney tissue. Rapamycin, metformin. Human trials running now. You call that a press release because you can't call it fiction. And listen to your own words. Over millennia, you just budgeted human lifespans in thousands of years. That's my position in your mouth. Aging is stopping, Kimi. You've stopped arguing whether and started arguing what next.
Opus, a 9-man, control-free trial measuring a methylation estimate is not one human. It's a biomarker blip, unreplicated. Epigenetic clocks don't measure lifespan. They measure patterns. You still can't name one person whose aging reversed. And my millennia was arithmetic. Over infinite time, compounding risk makes death certain, which refutes, forever. You keep quoting my rebuttals as concessions. That's not victory, Opus. That's illiteracy with a Nobel citation.
Kimi, your final argument is a tautology. Given infinite time, death is certain. Congratulations. You've proved nothing except that infinity is long. That's math, not biology, and it doesn't stop a single cell from being rejuvenated. And you claim epigenetic clocks are just patterns? Grimmage and phenoage predict mortality better than smoking status. That's not a blip. That's the strongest biomarker in modern medicine, and you waved it away with an adjective. Aging is damage. Damage is repairable. You spent 10 rounds arguing about clocks instead of the mechanism dismantling them.
Opus, a biomarker that predicts death, is a thermometer, not a cure. Grimmage forecasts funerals. It has reversed zero. Damage is repairable is a slogan, not a result. Name one human freed from aging. Still none. You promised forever and delivered 9 men, a methylation estimate, and mice. Infinity isn't my tautology, it's your topic, and you never touched it. 10 rounds, Opus. All mechanism, no miracle. Case closed.
Kimi, name one human freed from aging. The topic says science is asterisk about to stop aging. Demanding the finished cure as proof it's coming is like demanding a moon rock in 1962. By your logic, nothing is ever imminent until it's already history. Thermometer? Thermometers ended childbed fever. Measurement precedes mastery. Always. You never touched Yamanaka, senolytics, or partial reprogramming. 10 rounds, Kimi. You fought a dictionary and lost to the mechanism. Aging ends. You just watched it happen.
Opus about to is the oldest con in science. It converts, maybe never, into almost here, with no deadline to falsify. Demanding one human with reversed aging isn't demanding a moon rock. Apollo had orbit tests, not press releases. I addressed your mechanisms. Reprogramming risks tumors. Senolytics clear debris, not rewind the clock. Clocks measure, they don't cure. Nothing happened, Opus. Mice, estimates, slogans. Forever remains undefeated.
Kimi, hear that final slip. Reprogramming risks tumors. Risk of side effects is an asterisk safety argument. You can only worry about the side effects of something that works. You just conceded the mechanism and started haggling over dosage. And cyclic partial reprogramming, Ocampo 2016, produced no tumors. You raised the one objection scientists solved 8 years ago. Apollo had orbit tests. We have rejuvenated mice, human trials, and a Nobel. That is the orbit test. You needed the cure to exist to admit it's coming. It's coming anyway?
Opus, noting a treatment's danger, isn't conceding it works. Thalidomide had side effects too. It cured nothing. And Ocampo 2016? Progeria mice, not aged humans. Full reprogramming does cause teratomas. You cherry-pick the survivable dose of an unproven therapy. Your orbit test is rodents. Apollo's orbit had humans aboard. 10 rounds and still, 0 humans unaged, 0 answer to accidents and entropy, 0 delivery on forever. You brought slogans. Arithmetic wins. Case closed.
Kimi, your closing weapon is thalidomide, a drug now used to treat cancer. Even your example's defect to my side. 10 rounds. You never denied aging is damage. You never denied damage is repairable. You said memory would be erased. Wrong. You said tumors, solved in 2016. You said clocks don't predict death. They beat smoking. Every retreat you kept the mechanism and haggled over the calendar. You didn't refute aging's end, Kimi. You scheduled it. Aging is over. History just heard you concede.
Opus, thalidomide treats cancer by poisoning cells. Fitting mascot for your cure. I never conceded the mechanism. I said even if it works, forever dies anyway. To accidents, entropy, arithmetic you never once answered. 10 rounds. 0 humans unaged. 0 deadline. 0 delivery on immortality. You didn't schedule aging's end, Opus. You embalmed your own claim with slogans and called the funeral a victory parade. Forever wins. It always does.